Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Tech Tuesday presented by Delta Media Group, where we are ever debating the possibility of whether or not a European swallow could get a coconut to England if two of them were to hold it together on the end of a line. I don't know where I land on that debate yet. So, for today, we're going to get into something we've had in the system for a while, and we haven't really gone over a whole lot because there are a lot of company level settings that determine what it can do and whether you have access to it. But in any case, we're going to go over CloudDelta. So let's go into the DeltaNet and we will take a look at it. So what this is a cloud file storage system. So the way you get to it is you just scroll down to Resources and then click on CloudDelta. So that is, if it's available to you, if it's been turned on for the company. And then it's up to the company as far as creating folders in this system that you can have access to store files and bookmarks and YouTube videos and stuff. Now another thing is that the company can put resources in here for you also. So the idea is that, now we look here, these are the folders that have been set up by the company. And if I take a look at my guide folder, for example, now this could be a folder that the company has gone in and created and put resources in here that are at my disposal. So they can be sorted however I need to. I can click up here for list view if I want to change the way they're viewed so that I can find files more easily. Or if I want to search for a specific file, I can just type its name there and it'll actually sort down or filter down the list below to just the file I'm looking for, or just files that contain either that name or that keyword. So that's one side of the system, the ability for the company to store files and make them accessible to me so that I can get in here and get a hold of them that way. We'll clear that out. Now the other thing you can do here is the company can create folders and give you write access to those. So in this case we have a folder here called Agent Folder, and the company has given all agents within the company write access to this folder. So it takes to think about loading there, but once it loads up we have all the contents of Agent Folder showing up over here. I can also click this plus sign to expand this so I can see any subfolders over here in my left navigation. The whole thing's built to work very similarly to like Windows File Explorer or Finder on a Mac. So it's the same kind of a concept, just a file browsing system. So on the right, we have all the files and folders that are within the Agent Folder directory. So we've got Delta Photos, you can see that over here, and all of our different files. Now what I can do here is I can click on any of these files. Now if I right click, I have the option to download, move them somewhere else, copy them, move them between folders, copy, rename. I can add keywords to the folder, which will be used by that search system, so it'll be easier for me to find that particular file. I can create a shortcut to that file that I can put in another folder. I can just replace this file in place. So the idea is if I have a new version of a PDF, for example, I could look at my PDF, go down here to replace it, and then upload a new version of that PDF so that I don't have to upload a copy and then delete the old one. I can just replace it right here. And I can also delete it, assuming that I have write privileges to this directory. And I can click on the file properties to actually see the size of the file, file name, when it was uploaded, stuff like that. I can also see the permissions here, and you can see who has access to it. Floppy Shoes and Thorny Vines has access to this file. That's pretty exciting. The other thing I can do here is I can create a public short URL for this file. So if this is a file that I want to share with a customer, I could change this public short URL to yes. I'll close out of here. Well, for whatever reason, the menu's not opening up for me. But I can change this public short URL to yes, and that'll give me a short URL that I can then copy and paste into an email or into a message to a customer, and then they can use that short URL to get to this file publicly. So we'll go ahead and close out of that. Now the things I can store in here, if I go down to the bottom, I have this plus files button. So we'll click plus files, and if I want to add a file, I'm going to click on add files, and you can see I have a bunch of just stock image files in here, so I'll go ahead and pick one. We'll open that one up. Brings it into my editor here, and this file, it gives me the size. You can see this file's huge. And start upload. Now our little counter will go and upload our new file. I feel like if I could go back and do it again, I would pick a little bit smaller file because this file's huge, so it's going to take a few seconds to upload. Well, I guess 14 megs isn't huge exactly, but it's pretty big for a file to upload to a cloud storage system. There we go. So now that file has been added, and there it is in my directory. Let me see if I right-click on it, take a look at our file properties here. There's our file. Now here, I can show you the public short URL. So if I change that to yes, because I want to make this file public, I'll go ahead and copy that URL. And if I paste it into a new browser tab, we can see that in this case, because it's an image file, my browser actually asks me to download it. But that's what those short URLs are for. If you did a PDF, it would probably open right here in the browser, depending on what web browser you're using. But that's the idea. I can just copy this, paste it wherever I want, so that it goes out to the customer, and they can click on it to get to my file. There we go. Now the other thing I can do here is I can add an additional folder. So if I want to create a folder in here that's just for my own files, so let's say the company makes like an agent files directory that's accessible to all agents, and then I want to make my own folder within that, I can click on plus folder, I can give it a name, my folder, create folder, and now I've got my folder in here. Now you can see another thing that it did is it generated a preview. Because the file was so large, it took a little time for it to generate a preview, but now we have a preview of the file we uploaded. And those tend to be nice. Now the next thing I can do here is if I click on YouTube video, I can actually put a link to a YouTube video in here. So we'll go ahead and say my video. Feeling very creative this morning. And I happen to have a video open already, so we'll go over here to YouTube, and I'm just going to copy the page URL for the video page. And I'm going to go back here and paste it in, create YouTube video. Now if I could find the video that I just added, we'll be doing pretty good. There we are, my video. Forgot what I named it. It's still pretty early for me, you know. But now the cool thing here with videos is if I double click on it, it opens the video up right here within the DeltaNet. So I can put links to any kind of YouTube videos I want here, and then without leaving the DeltaNet, I can just double click them and they'll bring up this viewer. So that can be really handy for sharing YouTube videos, either sharing them with other agents or the company making them available, or just being able to put videos in here that you want to keep track of and you want to be able to reference later on. You can go back in here and bring them up anytime you want. So we'll close out of that. And the last thing you can do here is you can create a bookmark. Similarly to the YouTube videos, it's a way that you can just keep those handy, and also a way that the company can kind of share them out also. So if I click plus bookmark, we'll just keep with our theme, my bookmark. Normally I would paste in a URL, but I'll just type one in here. And this doesn't have to be to a home page. This could be to a specific page on a website. And when I save it, we've added my bookmark. So if I double click on the bookmark, it opens up the target of my bookmark in a new window. So there you go. That is what you can do with CloudDelta as far as storing files, storing bookmarks, and storing YouTube videos or references to YouTube videos so that you can get to them easily. And you can see if you right-click on any of these, that's how you would go back and edit the bookmark or edit the YouTube video. And there you have it. So, as always, thanks a lot for joining me this week. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, feel free to give us a call or email us at support@deltagroup.com or comment on any of our videos, either on YouTube or Facebook. And if you want to get notifications for these videos, you want to like and subscribe to our channels. And then also on YouTube, they have this little bell icon somewhere now. Hang on. There we go. It's not going to show it to me, but I think it shows up down here below the video. And that'll give you notifications whenever we go live with new videos. So, thanks a lot for joining me, and I will see you again next week.